How's it going, everybody? Wyatt back here again at the Team O'Neill Rally School. We're gonna go out and do some off-road driving today, so we just took a second. We wanted to make a quick video and just show you guys sort of what's going on. Tire chains, not the biggest deal on the East Coast. A lot of places out west, they're mandatory to carry these with you, a lot of different passes, and a lot of people maybe seem to go and do a lot more driving in the deep snow and that sort of thing out west. Maybe they're just stuck doing it, or in Alaska or something like that. But even here in New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, anywhere, Massachusetts, you know, if you like going off-road driving or driving in deep snow, these are pretty darn affordable and pretty darn amazing to have with you. We get ours from tirechains.com. It's literally that simple. And there's different size ones for different size tires, obviously. This is a light truck version that fits these tires nicely. There's car versions and everything else, but wanted to do a quick version because most people think these tire chains are, you know, big and heavy and laborious, and you've got to drive the car and do all this stuff to mount a tire chain. So I'd invite you to sort of, you know, I'll throw this thing on. You can run a stopwatch if you want, but if you had 4 of these to put on in less than 10 minutes with one person, you could easily do it all. So we'll see how quick I can do it. All I'm gonna do here, this one's been put away pretty well, but I've got this one link right here. I might just ditch the gloves just so I'm not fumbling around too much for those of you who are actually going to try and tie me on this one. What you've got is this link in the cable right here. So all that happens is this cable end with the nut on it goes into there, and that's what links and holds this inner loop together. So when it's stored, what you need to do is open it up, and you can sort of just take a look and see if you can get it all to dangle from that plastic piece like this. That means somebody put it away pretty well, and you're going to have a really easy time. If it doesn't look like this, make it look like this, because when you go to put it on, this is the only way it's going to kind of work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to throw this behind the tire, and all I'm going to do is latch this piece that I already showed you, and then we'll go from there. So let's see how long it takes to put a tire chain on. Around behind the tire, find the piece. I'm gonna latch that thing I just showed you and set it behind the tire. And then you've got this guy right here, which you can latch right there, no big deal. Set it so that it's in the middle of the tire. And then you need to find this loose end and the little cam guy right here. Put that together. This is the tensioner, right? So as I pull on that, it tensions it. This is just a little keeper. There's a couple of these things if you want to use them, but for my purposes, I'm going to latch it right there. Done. How hard was that? If you've got some of these tire chains, that tire chain, for all intents and purposes, is essentially on. What I would do, and what we're gonna do if we're gonna go drive this thing, is drive the Jeep forward a revolution or two and take some tension back on this to tighten that chain up. This right here, if you can see, is essentially all still slack, right? So this is all still slack that I can take up by pulling on this, but you see how the tire might need to roll a little bit, because you do want these tire chains nice and tight. It makes a big difference. If this tire chain is loose, it'll be flopping around and, you know, hitting on the bodywork or hitting a brake line or doing something ugly like that. So you would drive it forward, retension it, and that's the end of the day with these tire chains. They've got really good lateral stability compared to, you know, something more agricultural that you might see, a tire chain that's, we call them ladder chains, where all of the links are going directly across the tire. That doesn't hold you well if you're on like a side hill or a slope of some kind. These are a lot more like having X's on the snow. You can see the tracks that they leave behind. You really do have a lot of grip with these. In a vehicle like this, optimistically you would have 4 of them. If you didn't have the budget or the storage room, or you didn't care enough, you could have 2 tire chains. If I got stuck out in a blizzard, you know, with a foot of snow, I'd rather have 2 tire chains than no tire chains. You know, sure, 4 is better, but you know, they're a little bulky to stow and that sort of thing. To take this apart, all I'm gonna do is unlatch that, It's a little more fumbly with gloves on, but it's a lot more comfortable now that hopefully you're not timing me anymore. Take this apart, undo this latch, flop it down, slide it out, make sure it's all dangling the way that it was, and coil it around like that, stick it in the trunk, and you're good to go. So that's how tire chains work. They're really, really important to have, you know, if you're going off-roading in deep snow, or if you might get stuck in a blizzard or a deep snowstorm or something. They're also uncannily good in the mud. And you know, loose, you've probably seen logging equipment and that sort of stuff where they have tire chains like that. It's just, you know, keep the speeds down when you're running tire chains. They're really meant for, like, get you going, but you're going 10 miles an hour, you know, 15 miles an hour. Once they start flopping around at high speeds, they're just not designed for it, and you can wear them out and break them and that sort of thing. But low speed, having tire chains is a huge advantage. The nice thing about these quick fit tire chains like this is that I can put these on when the vehicle's already stuck. Right, so you saw how I just put it on. You know, we could be goofing around trying to drive up the mountain and realize we don't make it and get stuck in a hole. If we've got tire chains in the back, I could be stuck in a hole and put a tire chain on. You know, if that tire's stuck, or put, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 on, or whatever I wanted to do. Where the old-fashioned tire chains, you had to lay them out and drive the vehicle onto them and be really proactive about it. These are pretty lightweight, but they're very quick and very easy to use. So if you have them and they're easy, you're going to be a lot more likely to use them, and the world's going to be a happy place. So that's how tire chains work. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comment section, and yeah, we'll catch you next time.